Hi, I'm Tomasz.
And my name is Jaka.
And we make Pike spear guns. We're both passionate spearos, but we come also from a different background. We're scientists, engineers, and biologists. And we took that into designing our spear gun. We designed the spear gun from the ground up to be very precise, very powerful, but also very simple to use. That's Pike. That's our spear gun.
In its heart, our gun is an inverted roller. But what makes it really different from all the inverted rollers is the way we stop the rubbers at the end of the shot. We do it differently. We stop the rubbers at the bottom of the gun, the driving line just relaxes, and the spear flies true to its target.
This different way of stopping the rubbers on our spear gun actually generates two opportunities. One is to regulate the power of the shot, and the other is to facilitate loading and make it much easier. The first is power mode, the next one is load assist. The power mode is a very simple concept. Instead of stopping the rubbers when they are fully contracted, we stop them halfway by just releasing a small lever with a simple click. This decreases the power of the shot and protects your spear if you're shooting in a hole or on a short range. On the other hand, if you decide that you need full power, you just lock the power mode, the gun switches to full power. The power mode system actually generates another opportunity. This is the load assist. If you activate the power mode, you can actually use it to simplify loading of the gun. Once it's released, you just load the gun halfway, like that, and you can then reposition it to your chest and load it fully. This makes loading strong, long guns much simpler than if you do it directly. Another thing that makes our spear gun special is a very efficient powertrain. First of all, we use the entire length of the gun. We take the main rubber, which is the strongest, right to the end of the gun. Once it's stretched, it actually stretches the entire length of the gun right to the head. So basically the entire length of the gun is used to store energy for the shot. Another thing we do is we remove the rubbers a little bit away from the gun. So they actually touch the gun only at the attachment points, in the front and in the back, and in the middle where we switch a little bit the position of the guns with a roller. So we eliminate almost all friction between the body of the gun and the rubber. So all the energy from the rubber goes directly into your shot. The thing we also did is to completely clear the top of the gun. There's no kicker band, there's nothing there that will obstruct your view to the fish, so aiming is extremely simple and very intuitive. You see the top of the gun, the spear, and after your spear you see the fish. Another important feature of our spear gun is the way we designed the handle. The handle is completely ergonomic. It fits perfectly into your hand. We took cues from competition shooting handguns, but then took it a bit further. We rotated the handle just a little bit so that the forces of the recoil during the shot align perfectly with the direction of bones in your lower arm. In this way, the recoil is not absorbed just by your wrist or your thumb, but actually with your entire body. One feature of a good spear gun is also its balance. You want your spear gun to be as neutrally buoyant or a little bit negatively buoyant at the front end during your hunting, because this decreases the fatigue and also makes the gun more precise. Our spear gun has a couple of balancing chambers at the front and in the back in the handle, so you can balance your spear gun so it feels completely natural to you in the water. We make all our spear guns from teak wood, which is extremely durable and will last a lifetime. It also allows us to not varnish the spear guns, but rather oil them. So it's very simple to maintain them and they will look good after 20 years of use. The way we use this wood is that we cut it into thin strips and then glue them back together. But to make the gun even stronger, we put layers of carbon fiber in epoxy between these strips of wood, which makes gun pretty much indestructible. We further protect the wood of our spear guns by vacuum oiling. We completely immerse the spear gun in tung oil and decrease the air pressure. So all the air goes out from the wood and the oil moves in. So we get this deep oil impregnation of the wood. You can see this in the color. The wood gets darker and the whole spear gun gets very beautiful.